Welcome to another edition of our live studio show, Pittsburgh Sportsline. Thanks for watching the show. We're getting a lot of great feedback. We have a lot of great sports conversation. We also have a phone you can call in on, 412-831-3304. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, Chip the Prophet Hayner, Smoking Jim Frazier, and that's not Big Mike. That's Little Z, who's the Wally Pip.
Little Z and Mini Me.
Hold it, Mini Me Z. Anybody see Mini Me Z? Go Buccos. Hey, I want to shout out to a couple people that I run into the other day. Good friends of mine, Barb and Warren, ran into them. Tim and Maria, a couple others, Big Joe, Gary. All these people are saying you guys are doing a heck of a job on the show. And they go, Al, you too. So thanks for watching the show. We got Matt on the camera here. Devin and Aaron are in the control room. I don't know what they did with the lights, but this
looks like he's got a tan.
Looks like he was on the lam.
I'll tell you what. Contrary to what I look like, I'm not this tan, and I can't even see because the light is so bright here. Last night it was the left eye. This night it's here. First of all, here we do our Unicycle National Championship. The 21st to the 27th, we're getting closer to that week. On the 25th, we may head out there, 24th. We're trying to firm that up. Dr. Trina Hess, if you look at our Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook, she went to the Alice Cooper concert. Guess who signed a Butler Wobble t-shirt? This is a first for BPTV. We're announcing that Alice Cooper signed a t-shirt with Dr. Trina Hess. So for the Butler Wobble. Maybe he'll come out. You know Alice Cooper? School's out for you, Little Z?
Marilyn Manson is more along his
he gets generation. That. And then I got an announcement here. Matt, there's this car cruise, 5th annual Pasta 2, Rev 'em Up for kids. All the benefits go to the Bethel Park Junior Football Program. I just want to show that. And you'll see this, we'll be announcing it as we go on Sunday, July 28th. And you may get some surprise announcers there. So stay tuned. We're working on some details there. It's a great event, 5th year. And I want to give a shout out to some of my new friends. Wolfpack Boxing Club, Jeff Mucci, Shell, the personal trainer. We may take a visit out there, and we got a lot of boxing clubs asking us to come by. Pittsburgh 51 Boxing Club, Ted, and I don't know, your son looks like he's growing up a lot, Ted Jr. Oh, that's JB. JB may be on the show.
I wonder why all these boxing clubs want you guys now.
I don't know why. All right, folks, we go to what's on our mind. We're going to start out with Little Z and Mini Me Z. I'd rather go Mini Me Z. What's on your mind?
Well, I'll tell you what's on my mind. Russell's show is what's on my mind. We didn't really get to talk much sports last night on last night's show. We had a lot of great guests at SIP Sports Bar. But what's on my mind is Russell's show. You really left the city of Pittsburgh to go to UCLA, didn't enroll in classes, and thought you could come back after you abandoned your team. There's no way that you could take him back after he left and abandoned the program in that manner. You know, there's no way you can have him back. So see you later, Russell Show. Hopefully you'll be playing for maybe the Youngstown Penguins.
Whoa.
That's what's on my mind.
There you have it. These are the opinions of the people on our panel up here, folks. I agree with a lot of them. Sometimes I disagree. Now we'll go to Smoking Jim Frazier. What's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And if you want the green, you better see Levine.
Give me that pen. Give me that. Oh, he got green down there, Little Z.
But what's on my mind is it's my Spotlight Player of the Week. We're going in the 4th round of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we're going with quarterback Landry Jones from Oklahoma. Wonder why the Steelers traded their 3rd round pick of 2014 to move up in the draft. They pick a guy in the 4th round in 2013 that's never, ever, ever going to see the field in the Steeler uniform. Landry Jones was a great college quarterback, put up tremendous numbers, 16,000 yards, 120 touchdowns. But he got a weak arm. He got big game disease. He panics in big games. He plays poorly in big games. Just rewind the tape of Notre Dame and Kansas State. He's not a guy that's going to compete for a starting position because his wife, best friend, is Ben Roethlisberger's sister who was in their wedding. So it's all going to be love, love, love when it comes to training camp. So I think it was a wasted pick. Wow. I don't think he'll ever see the field. And now we're losing a third-round pick for next year, which is a very high draft pick. So that's my spotlight player of the week, Landry Weak Arm Jones from Oklahoma.
Thanks, Smoking Jim. Hey, one question. What did you give the grade for this draft? Because I forgot whether it was a D or D minus.
Well, I gave a grade a little higher than I gave it from last year. I gave him a D, a solid D this year.
Okay, just checking, folks, because he does grade him pretty close to the best here.
The women, that is.
Well, we'll get to that later, buddy. We'll get the sips in a couple minutes here. And now we have Chip the Prophet Hayner. He has a couple predictions come in. And what's on your mind?
Well, thank you, Alan. First thing on my mind is thank you, Chicago Blackhawks. I was proud to go to New England this weekend wearing a Blackhawks hat and antagonizing everybody that I come across. But, hats off to the Bruins, Stanley Cup champions 2013. But what's really on my mind, touching on the subject that Zach brought up, regarding Russell Shell, and I kind of have a little bit of a different take on it, and I do agree with Paul Christ that agreeing to not take back Russell Shell. And I think one of the things that I find most refreshing about that is that, there's been a lot of turmoil in Pitt athletics as of recent. Especially the Pitt basketball team. Number of players have been jumping ship. And Jamie Dixon brought back, and I can't remember what his name is. I know they call him Slice. The recruiter from New York.
Right.
Okay. And, they getting back to their recruiting roots. Somebody that can really bring some athletes in. So the Pitt basketball program, I look to see better quality of players starting to come back into there. But one thing I admire about what Paul Christ did with the football program is, okay, there's been a lot of people that have been leaving the program, and here's a guy that was brought in kind of at the last minute, and now he's got to build this program. And I think what he's done is he's chopping out the dead wood, the malcontents, the people that don't want to be here or play by his rules. And, and he's going to bring people in that want to be here, that want to play for him, that want to abide by his rules. And I find it very refreshing that we don't kowtow to these star athletes and make us seem like, we have to accept whatever kind of behavior they have. There are consequences to decisions that you make. And, wish Russell Shell well, but apparently he's going to go somewhere else to play football. I believe it's a right decision and will send the right message as the Pitt football program goes forward that, that they're trying to build something and get some discipline in the football program, which has been lacking ever since Dave Wanstead was there. But that's what my take is on it. And, Russell Shell, I wish you well and your family. Unfortunately, it's not going to be in the Pitt blue and gold. And
I tell you what, I, for one, am going to throw a small parade when Paul Christ gets fired.
Me too. And the gentleman's name is Barry Rorson that they brought back.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you.
And that's why Little Z's on here to clean up
I
mess.
I heard about him by his nickname, and I was like, I couldn't.
Hey, that's fine.
He
brings in some talent.
But he was the one that was bringing all the kids from the inner city in New York. And, before we had, the Big East tournament played in Madison Square Garden as a bargaining chip. But, we'll see how long it takes him to get the ACC tournament.
He got his nickname Slice in Munhall.
You can tell me about that one later.
Well, thanks, Chip. Appreciate your insights. Thanks for the assist, Little Z. And Smoking Jim, we got a trifecta now with you all on Chip's What's on Your Mind. So that's another feature, folks. And now I'll go to What's on My Mind, because you covered some of what was on my mind. So I'll go back to my 16 games over 500. I'm starting to shake a little bit. But I'm not that nervous, folks. I've been on the bandwagon earlier than I have been in 10 years. And I'm on the Bucco bandwagon, in case you didn't notice. And I actually believe that they can do it without changing too many things. Maybe we need another reliever. I'm thinking about that. And maybe another batter, another bat that can help out a little bit. Because the relief pitching, they're pitching great. But can guys pitch 100 games? That's what bothers me a little bit. I don't think we're going to have the debacle. I'm going to lose my dollar to Chip. I already plan on it. No, I'm not bringing it out yet. I got it tucked away at home, Chipper, so you're not going to see it. But that's what's on my mind. And we'll go back to revisiting whatever you want to revisit on the minds that are up here. So we got some fine minds, folks.
Well,
hey, Chief, enjoy your dinner out there, too.
Well, I want to revisit, of course, I don't agree with you guys with Russell Shell, and I'll tell you why.
I didn't even state my opinion on that.
Oh.
Don't lump me in there yet.
Would you like to go on the record and say something?
Well,
I'll give you a record.
For one, I really believe that the best football coaches in college is the ones that kiss the most rear ends.
That's the opposite of what you actually believe in life.
Well,
because you wouldn't do it.
Well, that's why I wouldn't coach college football.
Okay,
but
thanks.
But I know when I was being recruited, I used to like my hiney kissed a little bit, and
how'd that work out?
That's the school that you go to, and wherever had the prettiest girls. But see, when you got to realize that we are all, and Chip was talking about his past when he was a bartender and he was young and made some mistakes.
When was he talking about
and Russell Shell, if you're 17, 18 years old, you're going to make a mistake. And there's been a precedent. Is that the right word? Well, there's been a case before about somebody who was a prima donna who was in a similar situation. And I'll give you a prime example. When Ohio State was outstanding, they had a running back who was two-time State of Ohio Player of the Year named Robert Smith. Robert Smith played for Cooper, who was an excellent college coach that could never be undefeated, went about 5 years in a row losing to Michigan and lost his job. Robert Smith came in, wanted to be a black pre-med student. He wanted to be a doctor. And Cooper says, listen, you cannot be a pre-med student and take classes in the afternoon, because there was a lot of afternoon classes. He was missing some practices. Your obligation is here. So Robert Smith quit the team, transferred to USC to run track, and said a lot of bad things about Cooper in the process. A year later, he wanted to come back, and Cooper welcomed him in his 4.340 with open arms. And Robert Smith went on to be an All-American and played a lot of years in the NFL and was very close to being for the Minnesota Vikings.
He was
So,
very
nice
good.
career.
Right now, he's a practicing doctor.
well, right now he's a comment.
on
He's
ESPN, ABC.
Yeah, so I don't know. Look at his hands. It looked like some of his fingers is going the opposite direction. So he
As
may,
long as he's
So
not
he's not
delivering
surgeon.
babies,
Yeah,
he'll be okay.
but he may be able to perform surgery at the UPMC in Homewood, which is usually called the health clinic.
Well, and I understand that, young men do make mistakes, Jim, and that people should be given second chances. But apparently, one of the things that we don't know, and then this is all just left to speculation from everybody.
And the little birdie told me, they says don't say it on air, so everybody don't listen to this. We may have to cut it out of the live tape.
Change that dial.
But not Robert Smith, but Shell, and I haven't found out if it's the same girl or another girl. He has another baby on the way, so he got two babies.
That's great that you bring that up, because my point
was
was when you're talking about kissing heinies or greasing these guys up, some guys want tattoos, some guys want shoes. Well, Russell Shell, he needed childcare, he needed a babysitter, and the University of Pittsburgh just was unable to commit. Healthcare is rising cost of healthcare. We cannot afford to take on all your kids.
Obamacare!
No, but
Obamacare is killing
I
us.
hear ya.
my point being is that nobody knows why he was thrown off the team. He was supposed to have some pending disciplinary action that he was going to have to face the music about. And there's speculation
flunked some
about
drug
what.
testing.
Well, that's hearsay. Well, none of us know this for certain.
I do.
Said he
But
was
apparently, whatever was going on behind the scenes that hasn't been made public was enough that caused them to say, you know what, you're too much of a problem for us to continue moving forward. So,
They don't need any more
it
negative
is
publicity.
it is what it is at this point.
What? They're going to go 1-9 this year.
I think we have a chance to hang in there with the
That's a good
Seminoles.
point. I mean, that's a good point.
Here's the bottom
we
line.
don't know. It's all speculation at this point.
Here's the bottom line. We don't know what's happening on the inside. The coach, if he was hired as a coach, My man over there is an emperor, a dictator. If he runs a team, oh, that lighting's better now. Thanks, Matt. Chris is in charge. He's the guy that said last year he needed more time, and I made fun of it. Now he's getting the time. Whether he has the players to line up how he wants them, it's up to the players.
I highly doubt he wanted to go to the ACC. He didn't have a choice.
No, but he wanted more time to start the season last year. You missed some of our shows then. And he was on the air saying, if I could have an extended practice session before the season started and we didn't start this week, I'd be a lot better.
Well, if he was like Rich Rodriguez, he would have had the practices anyhow and get fined just like he did at Michigan.
Well, that's another story.
Rumor has it there's 12 Clareton Bears on the Pitt Panthers right now, so let's see what he can do with discipline.
Shout out to an undefeated decade there.
But to speak to Alan's point a few minutes ago about the Pirates, and I'm going to do a a kind of a mid-season evaluation
Pirate
a little
review.
later on in the show. But there's some very, very positive things going on with the Pirates this year, and this is a much different Pirates team than we saw in 2011, and a much more mature team than we saw in 2012. But I'll dig into that a little further later on.
It's a whole different complexion of this team, I'm telling you. And I wish them the best. All right, we do a little review of Sip Sports Bar. Last night we had 8 great guests. Wow. I mean, we even had a guy, I don't know if you can get this, Matt, future skate on synthetic ice. Little Z, they can put that right in your backyard, over your pool, whatever you want.
I'll tell you what, Alvin. If they'll put that in my backyard, then I'll advertise that as much as you.
Are you serious? Well, I don't know if I ever promoted. He brings up a great point here. What is this? I don't know if it's ever come out more than once a show.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that thing right there someday is going to help you out greatly in a time of need when you call that number.
I'm hoping, buddy. Here, I'll keep it right near my heart. But anyhow, we had some great guests. We had a model who is also a co-host on a special show with Smokin' Jim Frazier, Alicia Sparks. She's going to come back actually in a couple weeks for our show on Monday. And you guys got to come out to Sip Sports Bar. She knows sports. She knows fashion. She does all kind of things. And we had BMX guys that were just unbelievable. I got to shout out to Matt Sedlak. Now, I didn't know he was a friend like he is of Little Z. They took up, yeah. So he was mentioning Munhall, and I go, oh, no wonder. But they brought on a pro BMX racer, Kyle, who was just great. And they had a photographer, Ashley, who threw up about 20 pictures of all of us. Of course, she took the best picture with Little Z and Matt. And we got an invite to go up to their booth on the 6th and 7th of July for some pro racing and everything else. And Matt was just fantastic. They're invited back another time. We just had, a lot of great guests. Big Mike D come out of his hiatus. He's now out there talking sports again with us. And
he won a Yugoslavian Invitational, no, Croatian?
No. Let's get Serbian? It straight, because his dad watches this, and his dad's a trained assassin with the Serbian Nationals. So Big Mike Drakulich's dad, he watches every minute of this show. When you guys misspeak and I misspeak, he corrects me online and stuff. So it's the Serbian National Basketball Championship, the way I heard it. And the last 5 seconds of the game, you got to watch the video. I'm not even going to explain it. But Big Mike D is a champion because of it.
Somehow Mike D hit a three-pointer like Ray Allen. I don't know, something,
All right, we're going to go to, tonight is 50 cents a slice pizza with Dawn Campiti's Pizza. Jumbo wings Thursday night, 25 cents. I'm looking at pizza. I'm hungry right now. Friday, Jumbo Fish. They got entertainment every Saturday night. You got to go check it out there. Just go down to Sip Sports Bar, 3024 West Liberty Avenue.
Dormont, Pennsylvania.
15216. All right, we're going to a couple favorite sections that I have here. First one is Fiction and Fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac.
Hey, thanks, Al. I tell you what, I'm going way back on this one. All the way back to Friday night. I tell you what, I couldn't be prouder of Al Levine, the Talking Machine. We did a reality TV show, and Alan Levine, the Talking Machine, end up being the announcer, ring announcer for the whole thing. The ring announcer that was supposed to be provided for by the reality TV people had a prior engagement and couldn't show up. I think he was in New York with Big Mike. And Al Levine stepped through the ropes like a real professional, put on a show for for national TV. Had about 14 or 15 cameras, lights, camera, action. He had the crowd eating out of his hands. Saturday night he was supposed to get a break. But back by popular demand, they wanted Al Levine, the talking machine, back again, and he put on a show Saturday night. And when you see it come on TV, you got to watch it, because right at the end, he got the two trainers almost going at it.
Don't tell him
so,
what happened.
Yeah, we can't let it out. But Don King would have been proud of Al.
Well,
So
I got to
he could
get
be
this
amazing.
haircut
The
because
talking machine or the
Yeah.
ring announcing machine?
So that's
we got
my-
a little combo. But
so
thanks
that's
for your
Smoking
compliments.
Jim's Fiction and Facts from Smoking Jim's Almanac. Very proud of Al Levine, the talking machine.
He's so modest.
Hey,
folks.
everybody was asking me, they says, did they bring him from Hollywood? Is he part of the package? I says, no, he's from Upper St. Hazelwood.
Kamikaze Kid.
Shout out to the Kamikaze Kid.
He was born in the basement of Fifth Avenue High School. I mean,
No. It was. Let me clarify
Under the
this.
Civic Arena.
No. Hold on.
Born next to where Jimmy
they
Hoffa base.
floated him down the railroad tracks like Moses in that
Will
basket.
somebody turn that light? These guys are killing me. Usually I have a comeback, and I do. I do have a comeback. 105 Pride Street. Take Pride Street all the way up to the emergency room.
105 Pride Street.
It's gone. You won't find it. It's underneath the hospital. I wasn't born there. I was born in a house. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So, and that's the history there. No, seriously, thanks a lot for all your compliments. Smoking Jim actually set me up for all this, because a couple weeks ago he was saying I could be an announcer. So I believe in conspiracies, or some of you think conspiracy. So I think he might have conspired. He told me he's totally honest, so I got to believe him.
So your new nickname is Alan Buffer.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
Let's get ready to...
Rumble.
Whoa. Now they're coming to get you now.
Yeah.
The Buffers.
86 that. Let's go. All right, we're going to my other favorite segment here, Chip's Trivia Time. Chip, what do you have?
I dug out a few little nuggets this week. I'm going to cut it short because, I want to get into our mid-season Pirates evaluation later.
Okay.
But this was as of last Sunday, and I don't mean 2 days ago, a week ago Sunday. But so far in the major leagues this year, there's been 1,013 games played. Of those 1,013 games, 111 of them have been extra inning games.
Wow.
They are on pace to beat the season record, and it beat that record by 29 games. The season record for extra inning games in Major League Baseball was set in 2011. That's 237 extra inning games. Wow. Now this goes by a week prior to Sunday, which of course the Pirates won an extra innings game on Sunday, but there's been plenty more played, so that number's going up. Something else happened over the past couple of weeks in baseball. It's never happened in baseball before. And this one can be attributed to the New York Yankees. And this one's from my dear friend Mike Bucara.
Where is he?
Fan,
Where is he?
Yankee season ticket holder. But something that happened, and it has never happened, and this happened in an 18-inning loss by the Yankees. But their number 4 through 7 hitters went 0 for 28 over the course of an 18-inning game, and that has never happened in Major League Baseball history. So tip my hat to that $200 million payroll New York Yankee team, because they're really bringing it this year. Another odd and interesting fact that I was looking at, and I was looking at two numbers. One's 0 and one is 12. Okay? And this takes me to another extra inning baseball game. This is a 16-inning game. Okay? The 0 comes from how many runs were scored by both teams in the first 13 innings. In the last 3 innings, 12 runs were scored by both teams.
Kidding.
Wow.
And the
How many times has that ever happened?
The Chicago White Sox beat the Seattle Mariners 7-5 in 16 innings, and they scored 12 runs between the 13th and the 16th inning.
Sounds like a softball game.
I'm telling you, sounds like a beer league game to me.
Yeah.
And Jim, being a scout, you mentioned about the the NFL draft, and about how the Steelers wasted a third-round pick this next year, getting a fourth-round pick. Well, sometimes major league or professional teams will do something just out of compassion to make somebody's dream come true. And in the most recent baseball entry draft, the Arizona Diamondbacks did that for a young man. Yes, in the 34th round, the Arizona Diamondbacks drafted Corey Hahn. Now, Corey Hahn is 21 years old. He was a former ASU baseball player. He played on the United States 18 and under national team. He was paralyzed from the chest down after a head-first slide in 2011. And he will remain paralyzed for the rest of his life. But to make his baseball dream come true, the Arizona Diamondbacks went ahead and drafted him. So,
but not only did they draft him, they drafted him in the slot with his number. Mm-hmm. They traded to make sure that they drafted him with his number.
What a first-class move.
At the end of the draft.
But every once in a while, and as mercenary as professional sports can be, sometimes people do things just out of compassion and because it's the right thing to do. I tip my hats to these Arizona Diamondbacks.
Great point.
I guess that's better than the Globetrotters drafting a female basketball player from Baylor. She says she's not interested in playing, but they did draft her in the 5th round. Yeah.
Why wouldn't she play? She could be good there.
She'd probably make more money.
Yeah.
Have more fun.
The Globetrotters don't have an off season.
Go ahead, little Z.
You said that Landry Jones has a soft arm, but I beg to differ, folks at home, because during Oklahoma's recent run in college football, I've taken Oklahoma with the points many of times, and Landry Jones has a rocket for an arm, and he can really launch that ball downfield. And I think he's a lot more durable than my good friend Homestead Charlie, Byron Leftwich, Dennis Dixon, and all the other utility players that we use to try to get through. So maybe he could be a little bit more steady.
You mean Byron, don't trip over the goal line, Leftwich?
Yeah,
Break
Byron, don't let my feet fail me now.
All the Brittle brothers, huh?
Well, we'll go to another segment in honor of where Big Mike. Usually it's Big Mike's question. I only have one question. Where's Big Mike?
That's like Carmen San Diego, folks. If we're on public TV, where in the world is Big Mike?
I think he took this being deputized a little too seriously.
Well, somebody said
maybe
he might
he's
be a
investigating
Canadian.
Aaron Hernandez.
He might be a Canadian Mountie right now.
He's looking for Jimmy Hoffa.
Well, he may be Charles Bronson.
Whoa, Vigilante. We're bringing out some classics. All right. Since Little Z mentioned we're doing a lot of boxing and he wonders why these boxers want to be on the show, we have our boxing segment. And I want to just tell you that we had boxers coming out from everywhere at this white-collar boxing. There were some great gold and black bouts there. We saw some great fighting there. It was just, these guys were hitting each other, and it was so hot that I'm surprised none of these guys fell down because of dehydration. We saw it, Smoking Jim will tell you, during the Golden Gloves. You may have even seen it on BPTV or even on Pittsburgh Sportsline Facebook where we put the fights. Some of these guys, they were getting leg cramps and everything.
Yeah.
But the other night, they weren't.
That's true.
And that was so hot, I think I lost 10 pounds and my cleaning bill tripled. So
maybe it had something to do with the number of cameras that you had.
Right.
But they weren't on me. Wait a second, they weren't all on me. That's a little misconception there. It was impressive with the cameras. And what'd you think about some of those fights, Smoking Jim? Because you were ringside the whole time.
What can you talk about? Tell us what you can talk about.
Black and gold boxing bouts.
Yeah,
there were about 9 of them.
Secrecy about a couple things there.
Only the white collar stuff, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, let's clarify that.
Tell me about Johnny Spells.
That's what I'm setting my man up. Thank you.
Johnny Spells, I tell you what, he's not even boxing. He's not even training here in the offseason. He's a basketball player for Perry High School.
I saw you pumping him for questions
so
there. He's playing sports, folks.
So he's playing in the summer basketball league, and so they offered him an opportunity to fight. He says, yeah, I'm in shape. He fights a tough kid out of Erie, Pennsylvania named Elton Brown that's quicker than everybody, older than everybody, beats everybody up. he couldn't hit Johnny at all. It was, I mean, Johnny's spells are so good.
Who did he look
Well,
like?
they say Johnny. The knock on Johnny Spills is he isn't throwing enough punches though. He's moving around a lot, and you can't hit him. But in the process of not being able to hit him, he's not really throwing anything in return.
He
so that's what
scored,
I'm
yeah,
doing.
but he was scoring the punches on the other guy pretty regularly when he wanted to. So that's part of what they're
that's
saying.
the kind of myth that got Elton Brown beat up because that's what they're telling everybody so you can fight Johnny. But the
Yeah,
guy
he was
he's just
hurting
better
him.
than everybody. He's just so much better than
He looked like Muhammad Ali ducking those punches.
sure does.
And then he was dancing around, too,
Yeah.
which I said, look at him. And here's another thing. Since I met him, Little Z, he's grown about 3 inches. They deny it. But I told his dad, John Spell, I don't know if it's senior, but I said, it looks like your son caught you. Turn around. They were back to back, and they're almost even there.
Well, I could tell you this, and I could say this, and I'll let it go. I know it's to be controversial.
Not
but
you.
But he may have the greatest potential as a pro of any amateur ever in the history of Southwestern
Great
Pennsylvania.
start.
And that's
That might
saying
be
something.
the first time and that we agree on the same thing at the same time. Because I've been thinking the same thing for months about Johnny Spills. But the thing about Johnny Spills is we're going to have to wait for that because has ambitions of fighting for his country and being in boxing for the United
Well, I
States.
think
in
he's
the
only
Olympics.
going to be 16.
He
for the
doesn't have,
Olympics.
he doesn't have ambitions of turning pro fast.
Oh, I thought you was
So-
going to say something like real dumb, like he wanted to go to college or something. Turn pro, forget that school. You don't need that education, man. Make them millions.
Oh,
Education
get
is
your
important.
education out there.
Education is very important.
Education first. That's our boxing segment. Little Z, you always have something to input on boxing. Anything else you want to throw out? Because we got that August 3rd event coming up.
Big event going on down 31st Street Studios in the Strip District. We got fights going on July 13th at Mountaineer with World Class Boxing, Roy Jones Jr. and company. He's an 8-time world champion. I've had the privilege to sit next to Roy Jones Jr. many of times. So we got a lot of things going on in the city of Pittsburgh when it comes to boxing. So
And I met another boxer who's going to be fighting that night, Kean Dalton. Go on Pittsburgh Sportsline.
I don't know what his nickname is, but it could be like the Irish assassin, the Irish bomber.
I'll tell you.
I don't know about bomber in this day and age.
No, you can't
I
say
might not be
that.
able to get away with bomber and Irish.
How about
Sorry.
champ?
Yeah.
Well, he has 2 fights. He's fought 2 fights. He'll be there, and I want to give a shout-out to his boxing trainer, Mike McSorley.
That's my man.
He sent me an email today, Smoking Jim. He thanked me for being on the show, and he said, send me your address so I can send you a T-shirt like that nice one I got, Smoking Jim.
Wow.
So I didn't even reply yet because
Yeah.
I don't
Who's
expect
on that
free
shirt?
T-shirts.
Tell the people at home who's
This
on
is what
that
I'm
shirt.
getting at.
Okay.
It's the Greb's Gym. So you have Billy Collins on there and a champion like Harry Greb, I think it was. So you got some traditional
I had Harry Greb
box.
in my top.
Yeah, you
10
got boxing
controversial.
champions from, as they say, back in this was before the day. So these are Pittsburgh, traditional champs that we've had, and they have a gym in Oakland that they just started up, and we wish them the best of luck. And we're going to see more boxers coming out of that gym. So it sounds like a good thing. There's even young Billy Kahn is out of that gym there too. So got a lot of things coming up in the future in boxing. And now, for what we've been waiting for with the Pirate Review. A little drum roll for the chipper here. This has been our resident, for all you new listeners and people that watch, we are on TV. This is not radio. I've run into dozens of people, Smoking Jim. We have a little joke. We tell them, you can watch Pittsburgh Sportsline, on TV. And they go, what station are you on the radio? And then we say, do you want to come on the show? It's TV. And they go, oh, when's your radio show? And it happens just like that. So thanks for watching our show, folks. Now, Chip, let it loose, baby, with this Pirate Review.
And listening to, the local talk shows, everybody's talking about how everybody was wrong with the way they guessed about what was going to happen with the Pirates. And I've been beating the Pirates drum for a lot of years, but on the air now for 2 years. And I went into the season very optimistic and positive, and I said that the Pirates were going to win a minimum of 86 games. And a lot of people rolled their eyes.
Check the videos.
And right now, the Pirates, they're not even at the halfway point. They're 76 games into the season. They're 46-30. They far exceeded everybody's expectations. I felt in my heart that the Pirates were going to be successful this year. I didn't realize that they were going to have the kind of success that they've had up to this point. And, the Pirates are starting to get noticed by the national media. And I was listening to a gentleman from MLB.com today, and he was using sabermetrics to evaluate the Pirates. And the question was asked to him, what's the difference between this Pirate team that's 16 games over 500 and the team that was 16 games over 500 last year? He said, what the Pirates have right now is they have more depth than anybody in the league. And I don't know what the formulas they use for the sabermetrics, but according to those statistics, the Pirates have 11 players on their roster that rate above average. They said that's more than any other team in the major leagues.
Really? 11?
And this is of position players. And the only two that don't rate above average are Travis Snyder and Clint Barmas. So, you hear a lot of talk now, and then this is one of the things that just really, really gets me. The Pirates by far have one of the top 2 or 3 pitching staffs in baseball, and that's including starting pitching, relief pitching, and closers, okay? They've got some depth. They've got their 2 aces of the staff, the people that we counted on to anchor the pitching staff on the disabled list right now. They're bringing up people like Brandon Compton, who's pitched 2 good games, both got no decisions, but the Pirates ended up winning the games. Garrett Cole came up a little earlier than they wished he would have out of the minor leagues, and he's thrown 3 games. Charlie Morton has come back off of Tommy John surgery and is working his way back into the roster, and he's been very effective in the way he pitched. And as badly as he pitched on Sunday, and as badly as the team played around him, the Pirates still played well enough to end up ultimately winning the game. And, so what you're getting is contributions from every position, every player on the roster. And right now, I think it would be in the Pirates' best interest to don't mess with success. Play the roster the way you've got it. Sure, it would be nice to have a guy in right field that hit 40 home runs and 150 RBIs. You're not going to get him. People are talking about we need to trade Jamison Tyon and Polanco and this other kid, Tony Sanchez, who, by the way, will be DHing for the Pirates tonight against Seattle. He's their number 1 draft pick from 2009. He's a catcher, and his first at-bat on Sunday, he put a ball into the netting just at the bottom of the fence for a double on his first at-bat in his major league career. So, the Pirates are set up to win right now. They do have a team good enough. They have the pitching. They have the defense. They have enough offense. They're also positioned to be successful moving forward because, people like A.J. Burnett, they're not going to be around next year. They're not signed. There's people that are going to go by the wayside, but we've got fresh young talent coming up. And people always complained for all the years is that we don't have any talent in our system, and the minute we get some talent, we trade it away for some pie-in-the-sky dream, and then we watch our draft picks and our prospects prosper into great Major League Baseball players wearing other uniforms. So You know what? Don't trade him. Let Neil Huntington do his job. He's doing a great job of evaluating talent. Clint Hurdle is doing a great job of motivating his team. You know what? Let these guys do their job. We're going to have playoff baseball in Pittsburgh this October, and I am going to be there. I'll report live from the field.
Whoa. We don't have satellite set up yet, folks, but anybody wants to sponsor us?
I got a cell phone.
Okay. All right. Well, you can send that to us. And I wanted to bring up that the starting pitchers just recently in the last 11 games, there's 2.37 ERA, which is it's one of the best in the league right now for what they're doing. And Jeff Locke is like the leading
ERA, and he's pitching tonight. But, there's some rumblings. Jarrett Cole's come up, and he has been very good. He's 3-0 his first 3 starts.
Right.
But right now you get Rodriguez, you get Burnett off the DL. Garrett Cole may have to go down to the minors, for a short period of time. He's the one person we've got options on.
We may have a call here, folks.
You don't like this one, Smoking Jim.
Hello, caller. Who's calling us?
This is Steve Chambers.
Steve, how you doing today?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm just relaxing today. Took off from the gym and stuff.
Well, I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. You're calling in the Pittsburgh Sportsline. A little birdie named, I call him Little Z. Zach Brenner said we may have a caller, and I heard he's a friend of yours. What's going on? You want to talk to us?
Yeah, most definitely. Got a couple things to tell y'all.
Well, give me your first one. What's your best shot here?
Well, first I want to tell you about me and me and my brother Fast Eddie Chambers' upcoming fight in August.
Okay. What
Both
day?
are on-
What
both
day
are
is that
on
going to be there, Steve?
Well, Eddie, he fights on August 3rd on NBC Sports.
Okay.
And me, I fight on August 9th on ESPN, Friday Night Fights.
That is fantastic.
Congratulations,
Great job,
Steve.
man. Great job.
Thank you.
We
Bring
love
home a
hearing
winner.
positive stuff here in Pittsburgh. It's just great to have you call in here. That sounds great.
yeah.
Who's your opponent or anything? Is there any worries there, or how's it look?
His name is Thomas Delorme. You know, he's 18-1. I just actually heard because my advisor was at the fights this weekend because a friend of mine fought on the card on the Broner card, Broner Malinaji, and he was overhearing that Delorme's people were saying that he was going to knock me out in the first round.
Ooh.
Hey, Steve, who do you think won that Brawner fight last weekend?
I wouldn't argue with it going either way. I mean, Broner landed the more telling shots, but Malinaji definitely outworked him.
Well,
Like that, I'm so tired of seeing the bull crap happen in boxing. Like they really had Broner outlanding him by 40 punches. There's no possible way. Like if you watch that fight, that he outlanded him. Like he got out through like 5-1. Like there's no way. It just doesn't make no sense to see the punch stats up there and see Malinaji only landed like 202 punches and Broner landed 240 something. It just didn't make no sense.
hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, who ended up leaving with the side piece?
You know what? I think that was.
You don't have to answer all these questions here, all right, Steve? These guys, we like to have a lot of fun here, so we appreciate that phone call.
ahead,
You
yeah,
know,
let them-
so
don't-
here we go.
Don't let the referees decide your next fight. Do it in the ring.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want a knockout.
Is that what you're
This guy-
trying for? You're
this
going for
guy-
the knockout, Steve.
I mean, I always go for the victory first. But yes, I definitely want a knockout. You'll definitely see a more aggressive Steve Chambers come August 9th.
Hey, Steve, what's your record right now as it stands?
24 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw.
And what weight class are you in for the folks watching the show, you know, before we post this up on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook? What weight class are you in?
I'm willing to fight junior welterweight or welterweight, either one, 140 or 147. This fight, the guy asked for a catch weight at 144. So, you know, that's where I'll fight him at.
Speaking of catch weight, who do you like with Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez?
Actually, I mean, how could you go against Floyd? I mean, I can't go against him. He's been to the well so many times. And, I just can't go against Floyd. I just see him having a better skill level.
Hey, Steve, I think the red-headed Mexican's going to beat him.
I can't see that happening. I actually might end up in camp with Canelo for this fight, but I still can't see that happening.
Well, those are interesting insights there. And where are you training at right now?
Well, me and my brother Eddie, we both train at a James Schuler's Memorial Gym in West Philadelphia. That's where we've been at for years now.
All right. Well, we don't mind that. We're Pittsburgh guys, but we'll listen to that. You're in the state of Pennsylvania. So
Yeah, tell everybody in Philadelphia I said hi.
that's Smoking Jim. You know Smoking Jim. He's always giving the
Yeah, I
compliments
tell you
out
what,
there.
a lot of world champions came out of Philadelphia.
We always rep Pittsburgh. They always know. We always got Wiz Khalifa and Pittsburgh music playing in the gym.
Nice.
You know, the Philly guys, they
Black
look
and
forward to
yellow.
hearing that.
Black and yellow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tell us about what Eddie has coming up in store on August 3rd.
Well, he's fighting Hakeem from Coming to America.
Isn't he about? Isn't a king? It would have to be his son though now, Steve. Because if he was coming to America in the movie, I think a king, he'd have to have a son to be able to fight now because he'd be an old man there. All right.
So it's Raheem.
I think this guy is probably in his 30s. I really don't know the guy. His name is Mobisu or something. I don't know. He's a South African guy.
That's a great pronunciation.
You got to
did
work
there.
on your Swahili.
Like he's a South African guy. He's probably about 5'8", from what I've seen on tape, and it just doesn't look promising for him. And he's actually the one that called Eddie out. Him and his people. Ryder, come on. He's actually the one that called Eddie out. Him and his people. He's ranked number 11 by the WBC, I believe. And
So Eddie went from heavyweight to he dropped down to lightweight, correct?
Cruiser.
no, cruiserweight.
He went from lightweight to cruiserweight.
Heavyweight. Yeah, he went from heavy up. He went from up to heavy to cruiser, which he was weighing the cruiser anyway, fighting heavyweight. When he fought Adamek, he was probably about 198 pounds. Like he weighed in at 202, but he had his pants. He had his still had his sweatpants on. Had his wallet and his cell phone and stuff in his pocket.
Oh, that wallet got to be heavy then.
Hey, tell the fans at home about how your brother fought that fight.
Trust me, I get on him all the time. He has everything he owns in that wallet. Can't even close it.
He fought that fight with one arm essentially, didn't he?
Tell us about the fight
exactly.
then. Against Adamek.
About against Adamek.
Yeah.
You know, it was like I was looking at it like we always thought that it wasn't going to be like that hard of a fight, but it ended up being even easier than we expected. Like I remember myself and my trainer, we were sitting there and I was laughing to my trainer like, God dang, this is like this is even more easy than I thought it was going to be. And then I seen Eddie he shook his arm a little bit and looked down at it, and I was just like, maybe some string got caught on his arm. He's trying to get it off or something. But he came back to the corner, and I could see it was black, where his bicep is, it was black. And I'm just like, oh man, bad shit. I told my trainer, I was like, I think he hurt his arm. I was like, don't say nothing until he says something though. You don't want him to panic. So,
What did he do? Tear his bicep?
Yeah, he tore the bicep right off the bone.
And fought the rest of the fight and lost the decision that he probably should have won. He got jobbed in New Jersey.
Probably should have won. He outlanded him. He outlanded him with one hand, and the punch stats even showed it. Eddie outlanded him by about 40 or 50 punches.
Well, we can't wait to see him August 3rd then. That'll be those fights in the strip.
This is also a WBA eliminator. So Eddie will get he'll be the mandatory for the WBA world title.
That is great.
Great news.
That's great news. Hey, we appreciate you calling in, Steve.
I have one question for you, Steve, before you go. The old heads tell me, Steve, that one of the all-time great fighters was Cutie Pie Chambers, Eddie's dad back in the day. They
the
say
worst nickname in boxing.
Hey, on that happy note, hey, you can call us back anytime you're feeling up to it on Tuesday nights here at 412-831-3304. I wish you the best of luck on August 9th.
Best of luck, Steve.
Knock them out, Steve. And
bring home a victory.
Hopefully we'll see you on August 3rd when we're down at the fights.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks. You want to say anything to little Z here?
Take it easy, Steve. Tell Eddie I said hi. Best of luck August 3rd and 9th.
Yeah, I'll have Eddie call in. Whenever he gets a chance, I'll have him call in.
Hey, thanks a lot, Steve. You take care. It was a pleasure. Nice meeting you. Bye.
Boxing guys are great. Boxing guys are great, man. Great job,
that was an additional first on BPTV for boxing.
But, the one thing that I take from that is, you know what, you just can't let the referees decide the outcome of these fights. You got to take care of your business in the ring. Because, how many times do you hear that somebody that you feel won the fight lost it because of somebody sitting there in a suit?
Well, I always said the two things that I should have been when studying school. Well, I grew up, I always wanted, to play pro ball. And if I couldn't play pro football, I wanted to be a garbage man because they only work one day a week. But then I decided
that's like three things now.
I should have been either a weatherman or a boxing judge because you can never lose your job.
Hey, it's
Be
never
wrong
too
all the
late. You
time.
could always go back to Cal U and expand on
Get
the
another
general studies.
degree.
Man, I don't want to. I
You
you
know
know
what?
People take
Come on, Rodney Dangerfield.
Dangerfield.
Come on, you can go back to Cal U. You still have facility.
And since you got your general studies degree, there's a whole new flock of generals to study.
Yeah, that's right.
Hold it, wait. He not only has a general studies, he got a business degree. Now he can get a here comes the judge degree.
And I can be paid off, brother.
What's your price?
Well, you know what?
I don't know.
50 twice.
Hopefully, the
Miss Sparks! I'll throw the fight for Miss Sparks.
I don't know if she's fighting. She might be announcing. Wait a second. From the,
she's taking your seat.
whoa. Whoa, wait a second. Hold on a second. Let's go back to the Pirates here. Enough of this nonsense.
But one thing before we go to the Pirates, it was a big controversy before the fight with Mayweather and Malignaggi because Mayweather took his girl and he was saying that
that was
took
Brawner.
Brawner. Same, I get the
You
brothers
mix 'em
mixed
up.
up. Yeah, they all look alike. But he was saying, took his side piece. That's where he
Took
came from.
exception last
Yeah.
night, Bronner did to you saying that he wasn't the baddest thing in Cincinnati. You said Cat Williams.
Yeah, Cat
No,
Williams.
you're
Yeah,
Bronner.
that is true, Cat Williams. 5'2".
And that ends our second segment of boxing
ahead,
and nonsense. And,
Sorry for the overtime, folks.
no overtime yet. We'll keep it straight. We're going to go back for a little more bucko talk.
Just to wrap up on the Bucko talk, there's talk about Pirates having to send one of their starting pitchers back down. And Garrett Cole, may end up being the person that goes down. But here's one of the things you got to understand: the Pirates are going to need Garrett Cole, and he's going to definitely be a contributor as the season moves forward. It would be better to put Garrett Cole down and have him pitch every 5
Don't you
days.
think for losing 20 straight years that we need him now?
It's a business decision why they're putting him down.
Here's what you need to understand: is that he is a rookie. He is not an established veteran, and he has yet to reach his full development. We will need him more moving forward than we need him right now because we've got plenty of starting pitching right now that is pitching lights out.
I got to agree to disagree here, my friend. Here's the thing. With Pedro Alvarez, you proved me wrong. He should have been back in the minors last year to get his head together. Instead, they kept him up here. He now has a second full year, which that's pretty good. So Garrett Cole may be the exception to the rule as a pitcher. Earlier in the year, he had control problems and everything else. Right before he come up, he started to get his control.
What about Strasburg?
Well, here's the thing. You got to watch that arm, but he's throwing 101, and it looks easy.
Okay,
But Chip, if they send him down, they get an extra year from him.
Well,
right?
that may happen, but with that being aside, okay, who do you get rid of to keep him on the roster?
That's the dilemma for the
That's
experts
the dilemma,
on the team.
because here's what you've got. You've got options for Cole. Otherwise, you have to put other people out on waivers, and they're going to get snatched up. And I'm telling you right now, every starting pitcher that we've got in the minors and in the majors right now, we're going to need them all before the end of the year. Garrett Cole will be back, and he will be a major leaguer. What you don't want happening to him now is having to shut him down in September in the stretch run like they did with Strasburg last year, because teams get one chance to do this. Look what the Nationals did last year.
I don't think they'll shut him down.
Last year, the Nationals had a chance to win the world title. And what'd they do? They shut Strasburg down in September, and what'd they do? They didn't make it. Now look where they're at this year. They're nowhere near being.
Well, I say they're wrong about it. You only have so many pitches. Let them pitch. This pitch count, I'm not for it.
Do you think that they have anything to trade or give up that they can give up to get better without giving up too much?
I actually don't think that they need to. I think that they've got the pieces of the puzzle. They've got a team, and here's the part that sometimes gets lost. Everybody wants to micromanage, and this person would look a lot more sexy in this position than another. But you've got a team of players that have gone through the battles together, and they've been through good times, they've been through bad times, and they're climbing the mountaintop together. Now, if you start taking pieces out of that puzzle, the unity.
You're
of
talking
the team,
chemistry now.
But I'm not talking about the active roster. I'm talking about in the minor leagues, draft picks. Is there anything out there that they can afford to give up and get something in return that can help them right now? That we don't have 21 straight losing seasons. And I'm 29 years old, so they've been losing for 20 straight years. I mean, that's a lot of
Three-quarters
losing.
of your life.
Yeah,
this is unbelievable.
Instead of, and I'm just going to throw something out for you, Zach. And I know that you don't remember Pirate success, and I've witnessed more Pirate success in my life than I have failure. But enjoy what is going on right now, and let the people that are running the team run the team. They're doing a great job. They're stockpiling the talent. Enjoy what's happening right now, because I'm telling you what, it's been a long time coming. This team is built to win right now.
What do you say to the people that said that Clint Hurdle should have been on the hot seat?
You know what? Enjoy what's happening right now.
Here, I'll even go one better.
No, wait. Because here's what's happening. I started out the year, and I've been going down to the game.
That's
since
a great
the opener.
T-shirt. Enjoy what's happening.
No,
right now.
since the beginning of the season, the stadium's been getting more and more and more people coming. Now, last homestand, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 sellouts. Okay, people are starting to come back because the team is competitive, and if they keep on winning. But there's a group of people that are just sitting there to wait for the moment that they trip and they say, aha, I told you they were going to, but they're being awfully quiet right now,
I'll win another $1. But,
Well,
in September, don't be surprised if a surprise pitcher comes and pitches lights out. Washington.
Where's he at in Altoona?
He's got the curve. He got the curve there.
He may be ready by September.
That's double A for you folks at home. That's double A.
Well,
That's
the other
two steps
point-
away from the majors.
The other point on Hurdle, he was playing the game by his gut. And now he can play with the players a little bit because they have some talent now. That makes a difference. We're always gut feelings. He made mistakes. They made mistakes. So that makes a little difference too.
They've got depth at every position now.
He has options now, which makes it difference.
Russell Martin was a key acquisition, and
Right.
That's crazy because the Yankees actually didn't value Russell Martin that high, so that's why they let him go. Because, like I said, the Yankees are trimming their payroll now. They're not spending out of this world anymore like they have. They do have some big contracts, but they haven't in the last couple of years cut any more big contracts.
Well, we're down to the 2-minute warning, folks, and I like to get some closing remarks from each of you. You get about 30, 40 seconds to promote something. If you need a shameless promotion, Brenner contracting, you got it, but move on to something else. I had to jump you on that one there. So. But last 2 minutes, Little Z, what else do you got to say, buddy?
I just want to thank all the fans and everybody for their support. My time with dealing with this tragedy with my aunt. I want to give a shout out to LeBron James because championships are earned, they're not given, and a lot of people wrote them off and didn't think they had a chance. Hey, I'm enjoying this Pirate ride. I don't have any Kool-Aid yet. Chip hasn't got me any yet, but I don't want to get too far ahead. We haven't even hit the All-Star break yet, and I don't like to say, we're 16 games over 500. Let's just have a winning season and make the playoffs, and that'll be good enough for me.
One game at a time.
Hey, how about let's beat the Mariners tonight?
And just don't forget that they swept interleague play for the first time. That was the first time ever.
Real quick, I just want to say, be safe.
Time.
They said first time
The
on the
first
show.
time on the West Coast. The other
Yeah.
interleague series that they've swept, there was one in 1997, and I believe there was one in 2001.
See, that would have been a trivia time show. Darn, I jumped it.
But I just want to tell people to be safe on a bicycle, a unicycle, a motorcycle, any kind of cycle. Just be safe, be cognizant, be aware. Bicycle loses to a 2,000, 6,000 pound vehicle every time.
And we're running out of time, and we did want to honor your aunt again, and we had a little tribute last night. And you do look great on the camera. Matt's doing a heck of a job with you. And Smoking Jim, last few words.
Yeah, please, on August 3rd, all you fight fans, get out there and see Paul Spadafore. It's probably going to be the last time you get to see him fight in Pittsburgh live. He's going to be fighting all over the world, ranked in the top 5 everywhere. And come out to see my man, Lightning Rod Salka. It's going to be a great, great show. Come on out.
All day. Go ahead, Chip. A couple seconds, and then I'll wrap it.
I just want to wish everybody well. I will be here next week. I'll be up in the New England coast, enjoying a little time off. But that's about it for now.
All right, we'll see if Little Z could fill in. Hey, thanks for watching our show. We appreciate all the great feedback, and we'll see you next week. See you at Sip Sports Bar. Thanks again, everybody.